Right now, let me take you through the step-by-step process of how you set up a dynamic search campaign. Now, I am going to let you know right at the start of this one does get a little bit complicated in the fact that you need to set it up and then remove some warnings and then go back in and set up the ad group. So I'll show you what I mean. The other thing that you do want to have ready to go is that you want to have the URLs that you want to target, because we're not targeting by keywords, we're targeting by different URLs. And then you want to have your ad copy. And with your ad copy, you've only got descriptions. So there's no headlines. Google automatically generates them for you. So let's go through the process of setting up a dynamic search campaign. So where you want to go to is new campaign, or if you're in the campaigns area, just press on this blue button and go to new campaign. We are going to be focusing on leads. You can also do it for sales. Doesn't matter which one you choose, but for this one, because this is going to be more of a lead gen business, you would buy leads. If you're an e-commerce brand, it would be exactly the same process. So go by leads. The other thing is too, is if you want to remove the conversions, which are not relevant, you can do that. Remembering it doesn't remove them from the account. It just removes them from this campaign when you start to use some bidding strategies like maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. So we're happy with those ones. We're then going to go through and click continue. We're going to select search. You don't need to select anything here because we've already added in our conversion actions. Go through and click on continue. Now, when it comes to the campaign name, like I always say, have a good naming convention. We're going to call it a dynamic search. So DSA, dynamic search ads, and this is an abbreviation for one of our brands. So the main thing is that you know what it's about. No one else is going to see this. You just need to know that it's clear so that when you come to optimize your account, you've got some really clear ad groups and campaign names so you can quickly review your results. Go through and click continue. For this one, because we've got some other search campaigns running that are getting good conversions, we could start it with a maximize conversions bidding strategy, but I'm still going to start it with maximize clicks. The reason why I'm doing that is because I just like to get as much data and then move over to maximize conversions. As well, if you wanted to, sometimes for a dynamic search, what we will do is that we'll focus this on acquiring new customers only. And the way that you can do that is that you can click on acquiring new customers, only bid on new customers, and then you have to add in your audience lists. Now, because we don't have any audiences, because this is a newer campaign and inside a newer account, which is the reason why we're also focusing on clicks, not conversions, we do not have audiences over 1,000. So we are going to unselect this, then go through to next. I don't mind having the Google Search Partners Network, but I do remove the Google Display Network. The reason why I remove the Google Display Network is because if we're going to do image-based ads, I'd rather have a separate image-based campaign. And we're going to be targeting 3 countries by presence, and these are going to be Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. Now, the reason for why we've grouped them together is because the other campaigns that we do have, we know they've got very similar search volumes, they've got very similar search themes, and they also all speak English. So they're the type of things you do need to think about when you're selecting locations together. And then for there, the only other thing that you really need to add in is your audience segments. Now, especially because we're using maximize clicks and not maximize conversions, when the campaign starts, what we can do is that we can add in some bid adjustments based around different audiences. So that's why I've added them in there. It is important to note 2 things when it comes to audiences is that this is not narrowing our reach. Some people think when you add these audiences, it's only going to these audiences. That is not true. That only occurs if it's a targeted audience campaign, which is what we're not doing. So once you've got that, then you can go through and go to next. I still skip this section. Reason being is because it is going to be heavily generated anyway by a URL. So we press skip. And then this is the part that does get a little bit, not tricky, but just something you need to be aware of. And I've put this in this group in through here where you delete this. And this is because we have to set it up as a dynamic ad group. And unfortunately, at the moment in this setting, Google has not allowed us to add a direct dynamic ad group. So I don't know for the full reasons why, but that's just what we've got to do. So just delete that through there. Yes, remove, skip, and then go through to your budget. We're going to start this at $15 a day. Now, what will happen here is you can see that there are some issues there. If it's not letting you publish the campaign, just go back to one of these other screens, go back to review again, and you can see now I've got a published campaign. It's giving me a warning, but I continue to go through with the publishing. So it's just giving me a warning saying that the campaign is not going to start. And that's because we don't have any ad groups. So what we do then is we go into the campaigns, select the campaign that we just created, create a new ad group, and then here is the ad group type. And that's what we weren't able to do before. Go to dynamic, press continue. And then what we're going to do through here, we're going to set up 2 different ad groups for 2 different URLs. So I've got the URL in through here. We want to, you add the URL and then you click add, save and continue. Now you do also need to add in your domain name up the top here, which I'm doing in through here. Then go through, click save and continue. And you just need to add in the 2 descriptions. So you can't add in any headlines. You can only add in descriptions. Then we go through, click done, save and continue. So that's our first ad group, which is targeting our first URL. And then we're going to create a secondary one. Once again, dynamic. Now, the reason why I've done this is because these are two different products and we want to be able to see the spending difference between the two. You could put them as different ads or you could add them as multiple URLs. But this is just the way that I personally like to do it. Then we go through and add in our descriptions again, because if we were to add these in the same ad group, we wouldn't be able to change these descriptions. And that's why I like to do it as individual ad groups for my core landing pages. And that's how you go through and set up a dynamic search campaign.